please help me give a huge round of applause to Mr. David Wood!
Just kidding. I figured that introduction would be a lot more fun than me just saying hi. So old people say that the good old days were the best days of their lives. The school days were the best days of their lives. No, not for me. For me, school pretty much sucked. It was hard. I didn't know how to talk to girls. I didn't have dates. I didn't have girlfriends. I didn't know how to relate to the cool people, the cool clique. And there were people who liked to beat up other people just for fun. I don't know what you call them. I call them wankers. So school was hard for me. But the good news is, it gets better. For me, school was kind of like this. This was my life, and it went out to this after school. So if you're having any kind of a challenge at all, just know that it gets better. Now, I'll tell you some of the cool, fun stuff that I've created in my life, some of the things that you might consider successful. And I'll give you a couple of tips on how to create that, if you want that for yourself. But then, I'm going to tell you about what I'm most proud of. And it's not what you would normally think. So here's some of the cool, fun stuff that's happened. Firstly, I got a job in New York on Park Avenue as a consultant to some of the biggest companies in the world. I was an actuary, crunching numbers and working with Sony Music, Ford, Exxon, General Electric. So that was good for the money, and I felt really important, but it wasn't doing it for me. So I quit that job, went and bought a guitar, got a singing lesson, and a week later I had my first gig in Sydney, Australia at a squash court. And here's something that I did, I'll show you now, where I embarrassed myself on national television. And I was so terrified that I almost literally peed my pants.
And Act 1 is Mr. Woody performing... What? Oh, sorry. Mr. Woody performing 500 miles. Mr. Woody. Mr. Woody?
Audience, I need your help to sing a song. When I sing, da-da-da-da, you sing, da-da-da-da, right back. Okay, hit it. When I wake up, then I know I'm gonna be the man who wakes up next to you. And when I get drunk, then I know I'm gonna be the man who's get drunk with you. I'm singing, well, I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 miles. Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
The next thing I created was an online business. I wanted to be a life coach and a business coach. So I started helping people on the phone with their life and business goals. And then I thought, how can I put this information into some kind of automated form so I don't have to be on the phone? So I created products. I've got about 10 or 15 now that I sell on the internet. They go, they pay with their credit card, they download the information. And what's really cool about that is I get to work from anywhere in the world. So I've worked from a phone booth in Thailand. I've been in Hot Springs in California. I live in California right now. And I can work from anywhere. I can not work for 3 to 6 months and still have money coming in. And I'm very fortunate that when I go to sleep, I have a certain amount in my bank account, and when I wake up in the morning I have more. So money's come in overnight. And there are about 70,000 people who get my information via an email list. So that's been really wonderful, and now I teach people on how to set up their own online business. So some other stuff, I like to break the rules occasionally. I managed to crash a party and meet this guy, who you may recognize, and also this guy from Virgin. So I do believe in not always following the crowd, and sometimes you got to break a rule or two. I traveled for a year backpacking, as every Australian must do. It's almost a law. I started a speaking business and went out and started speaking on stage, and I was lucky enough recently to speak to 1,200 people, which was such a great experience to be able to share what I know and love with an audience and have them really impacted. And what's coming up next for me, the big thing is for 2 years I've been working on my first book. I think I have a publisher. It looks like it's coming through, and they think it could be a bestseller. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's really exciting to go into this whole new field. Now, that's the stuff that a lot of people consider successful and normally go for. I mean, a lot of people would like to earn over $100,000 a year. A lot of people would like to not have to work if they don't want to, be able to work from anywhere they want, do something they love, do some of these cool things. And if that's what you want, that's great. I think you should totally go for it. And I'll tell you 2 things that would help you get there. One is study internet marketing. If it's not your thing, fine, don't do it. But if you can learn how to share something using the internet, and you can learn how to market on the internet, you can have control over your own lifestyle and over your own career. And you can share something you really care about. So that's one tip I'd give you. The other tip is go to landmarkeducation.com and sign up for their training. It's called the Forum. Now, I could try and give you like 20 other pieces of advice, but the most basic, most important thing I could give you is go and do that course. It will put fuel in your rocket engines and teach you much more than I can say in a few minutes here.